Hiya crafters, Amy here with Amy's Wares, and today I have a colored critter card using up some pattern paper, so let's jump right in. I have this adorable stamp set from Avery L. I have some Copic friendly black ink, a piece of cardstock, and here is a photo of the finished card to show you the direction that we're headed. So basically I'm going to do some simple stamping in my mini Misty here. I'm going to stamp with a Copic friendly ink because I am going to color this cute little hippo in with my Copic markers. So I'm just lining this circle up. I did debate actually just kind of using a circle nested die cut just to cut it out, and then I could kind of pop it up with dimension. So that is another fun option with this sort of stamp. But I decided to just do it right on this card panel, and I am working separately on a card panel here instead of directly on a card base like I normally would, just because I know that the Copic alcohol ink is going to seep through to the other side, and I don't want that to show on the inside of the card. So that's why I am working on a separate panel. And this is US A2 size 4 1/4 inches by 5 1/2 that I'm working on, and it's 120 pound accent opaque. And I will link whatever available products are in the video description box below. So if you expand and scroll down, you'll find those details. Now you can see I'm just using a few different Copics here, basically some of the cool gray collection. I did swap out the bullet edge for some fine tip edge, but as you can see that one is dried out. I need to get out my re-inker and kind of put some more ink in that Copic. So I'm not sure what happened there. I have heard people say that sometimes you get like really minuscule cracks in the lid of your Copic, and then that's how they dry out. So I'm not sure if that's what happened here, but I'm hoping not too many of my Copics are like that because I don't reach for them all that often, and I'm hoping they're not all dried out because I don't have re-inkers for all of them yet. So anyway, I'm just kind of working through doing my typical normal messy Copic coloring. I like to kind of leave the rough edges. I don't like a really smooth blend just because I don't want to take the time to do it. And also it kind of gives it a fun, whimsy, graphic look, which is kind of more my style. So I don't want to spend a whole lot of time coloring. Most of the time I will actually reach for my critter book. I have a binder for stamped and colored critters, and they're all in little baseball card pocket protector sheets. So normally I would use those, but because I haven't used the stamp set yet, I decided to just kind of stamp it and color directly on this. And I have this nice, very kind of warm pink color that I'm just using to make some rosy cheeks in the inside of the hippo's ears. And then I decided to grab this darker teal color just to add some more interest in the background. And I'm doing kind of whimsy polka dots of all different sizes. So I'm kind of pressing harder or pressing lighter just to get various different sizes of polka dots for the background, but I felt like this was just a fun and easy little design option. So you can see how quickly that was. Obviously I had the footage sped up. I don't color quite that fast, but overall it did not take me long to color this. And I have a white gel pen here. I'm just going to add some highlights with some little lines and dots just from the right side just to show, and also on the left on the little snout, just to kind of show some highlights on that design. Now, as you can see, I left my stamps in the Misty so I could come back in and stamp with my favorite black ink, which is a pigment that I'm getting all over my fingers. This is VersaFine Clair Nocturne, and when you leave the stamps in the Misty or your stamp positioner, you can come back in and stamp with a really dark, rich black ink. Now, I couldn't stamp with that to begin with because it would have smeared with my Copics because it's not a Copic friendly ink, but because I'm already done coloring, I can leave it in and come back in and stamp it one more time and get it nice and dark. Now here I'm getting rid of my fingerprint that I just put on my panel with my sand eraser. So this is a must-have in your crafty stash. It's great for fingerprints, lots of different mistakes, or if you get like extra foiling and things like that, the sand eraser is a must-have. Now, I'm figuring out what direction I want to go to kind of finish up the card. I don't really have a plan in mind. I did recently put together this folder of pattern paper scraps. I'm consciously trying to use them up. I have actually given away a lot of my pattern paper. I do have some stacks still, and then I also kind of went through all my scraps and whittled that down into this more manageable folder. So I have found myself actually going back and using it more often, which is good. I'm hoping to actually get through it and use it up and then just try and resist the urge to buy more because I don't need it and I don't use it enough. So I still think I have plenty left in my stash to get me through, however long, but I am consciously trying to use up what I have. So this is a very lightweight pattern paper. I thought the colors went really well. And I have these stitched edge rectangle dies from LDRS, which is a small woman-owned business in Michigan. And it puts this really cool, decorative, pretty edge. And I used 2 different sizes of that, one for the colored panel with a cute little hippo on it, and one for an entire card front, which I attached to a card base. So here I have some 1-inch foam tape. This is my favorite from scrapbook.com. And I have my Judy tool. My friend Judy in Arizona made this awesome picker tool for me. I love it, and I'm using it to kind of get the backing off of my sticky adhesive, and boy, is this stuff sticky. So I'm just going to line this up. It's popped up. It's got some nice dimension. Putting that right in the center of the card, and I added some resin droplets for blingage in odd numbers. And that's going to finish the design. So came together really quickly. It was fun to use this new critter stamp and use up some pattern paper. And I hope you found it helpful. If you did, please hit the thumbs up and consider subscribing. And I'll check you next time. Bye.